you know, they say the key to great comedy is timing. Well, I think the key to having average and ordinary people like myself end up having extraordinary success in business. Now, I worked hard and all that stuff, but yeah, you listen to Warren Buffett, right? The greatest money manager in history, you know, and of civilization, and he credits timing as the key factor. He said if he'd been born 40 years earlier, he wouldn't have had the experience they had. If he'd been born 40 years later, he wouldn't have had the experience that he had. But growing up in this economy, in this nation, and building the business that he did, allowed him success that ended up being supercharged. Well, we've got that going for little old us, right? For each one of us. And so let's just reflect on it a minute. There are fewer agents, fewer registered reps, fewer investment advisors in the industry right now than ever. There's increasing uncertainty and fear of the future because of debt, because of government's unwillingness to attend these things. They just add more things that cost more. I mean, it's like being in terrible debt as a family. You go out and buy stuff every day. You know, you just can't stop yourself. We all know where that ends up. It ends up going over a cliff. And so people are right to be concerned. But that concern needs an outlet. You know, and that outlet needs to be you and me going and coaching them. There's greater need, less industry capacity to help. This is a sad story, but the reality of it creates tremendous timing for us in our businesses. And because of this, people are more receptive and willing to listen. Now, you're going to still have people, just like at the governmental level, that reserve the right to remain stupid. And they won't listen. And they won't make changes. And they keep doing this dumb stuff. But that's okay. Go talk to someone else. Because there are going to be a bunch of people that appreciate it. And so it's great timing for our model. Great timing for our products. Great timing for you to build a business. Man, it's tough to build a business. But try and have it be bad timing. You know, try and start a real estate firm in the second half of 2008 and the next few years afterwards. You try and do it when interest rates were skyrocketing as the Fed was trying to control inflation, you know, in the 80s. And so, this is a wonderful thing that's completely in our favor. Make the most of it. But do it from the heart. Right? Now, and I want to finish with what I hope is powerful for you. And that's the power in your life and the lives of your team and in the marketplace with the consumer. The power of their motivation, the power of your motivation to change your stars. That's kind of the way I've said it for a bunch of years now. Changing your stars. I saw a movie, and it was about a story set in England centuries ago, where a poor man, there you had royalty and you had commoners. They had words for it, royalty and commoners. It's still a term they use, right? Kate, Princess Kate, was technically a commoner. You know, and we all know who got lucky in that marriage. I think she got a good guy, but he got a great woman, just like in my life. And this person had to fight through these cultural limitations and strata of society to change his stars. You know, it wasn't even a great movie, but I remember the line. of a little boy turning up to his dad and saying, "Can a man really change his stars?" And other people around him, when they overheard it, laughed at him. They were all commoners. They were all peasants. And the father said, "Yes, son, it is possible." You know, and I'm telling you, as your friend and your teammate, you can change your stars here. I'm proud of our company. I'm proud of what we built. I'm proud that WFG doesn't care where you came from. Now, we care if you came from 30 years in prison. It's really the regulators are going to care about that too, because you got to get a license, and that would make that obviously a challenge. But we don't really care where you come from in the common way of meaning that. Because the thing that's going to make you successful here is not your education. It's not your grades that you got in school. We don't ask you for your transcripts. College asks you that when you're coming out of high school. But I don't care. We're not even overwhelmingly concerned about your financial statement. We're one of the few companies, agencies out there that can get you an appointment with a company, sometimes even if you've been bankrupt, even if your things are tight. All right? A lot of companies just decline you. They won't appoint you. They think you're too big of a risk that you write some bad business and run off with the advances. But our people just don't tend to do much of that stuff. So I love our company because we don't look at you in the terms of your degree, your grades, your financial statement. It's really the ultimate equal opportunity. And it's not an equal opportunity employer, which I'm sure Aegon and WFG Corporate are. I know they are. But here, we live it. We don't care about any of that stuff. We do care about your character. We do care if you can conduct yourself with integrity so you can build something lasting and do great good. But none of the other traditional stuff. You know, if I went down the road, up the road to Google or over there to Apple or up to Facebook or over to Tesla or all these Netflix that's down the road the other way, all these companies here in Silicon Valley that are around me, I applied for a job. One, they would say this. They think I was too old. Two, I don't have an engineering degree. I don't have a tech degree, right, in one of those areas. You know, I know what a logarithm is, but I'm done. I watch people work hunched over their laptops and writing code and getting any apps to work, you know, and I respect it, admire it to a point. I don't know how to do it any more than I knew how to do what those doctors were doing for me. And so I probably wouldn't qualify. They wouldn't hire me. But WFG, I came in. I had managed to get through college in 7 years, got a degree, no background in the industry, no background in sales, no background in anything having to do with financial services, no great leadership experience, no track record, financial statement that the needle was bouncing on empty, you know, and they said, "Hey, let's go." And I started getting coaching, and I was determined to listen and be coachable. And we changed our stars. You know, 2.5 years later, we had $1 million in savings. When we started, we had $800. $800. How bad do you want it? I mean, that's your juice right there. That is the power of your motivation. How bad do you want it? Are you going to be some frickin' pansy? Somebody says no or doesn't show up to the meeting, or your brother-in-law says he thinks it's stupid, or somebody looked on the internet and read some bad thing, which you can read about everything in the planet, and you cave in. Well, all that stuff happened to me too. And it hurt. It wasn't fun, but it didn't make me think about quitting. What it did is it made me mad that people were trying to stop me, and I wasn't going to let them, because we wanted it bad. We wanted a better life. I didn't want to stay in that mobile home. I didn't want to stay in that rental. And that's not the most important things that we overcame. How much did it mean to me knowing we were secure? That my children were secure. My great-grandchildren were secure. Because we wanted it bad and we paid the price. That we could take care of our family for the next 3 generations, even though we didn't have any kind of resume to show. Man, I appreciate the chance to win. But some of you, a little bit of adversity. And when. This is another line from a movie I saw. You want cheese with that wine? Only it's not W-I-N-E, it's W-H-I-N-E. Look, if you're going to be the hero of your own life, you go make it happen. You don't whine. The hero goes and makes it happen. You face an adversity, go face it. You need to challenge something, go challenge it. You need to step up, step up. That's the power of your motivation. I get pumped up talking about this stuff. You see, my family was poor. My parents lived in a mobile home. Our mentors had mentioned they had gone 17 years without a vacation. We have people that can't go 17 days without taking time off, or 17 weeks. It's pretty amazing to watch those who really do apply themselves. Now, don't get me wrong. While they were doing that, there were company trips, but they were running those things. And I promise you, they took little weekends, 3-day weekends and stuff like that. But they didn't take 2-week vacation because they wanted it bad. And something amazing was happening with their company. And I'm not telling you got to go 17 years without a vacation. But the reality is, you've got to be driven enough to understand and to apply yourself over an extended period of time that allows you to end up in a place most people don't ever end up. I think about a guy like Rocky Shee, who works, and he and Miranda work and work and work and work. And I remember even my own parents saying, "We think you're working too hard," which is why they were where they were financially, and why we ended up where we are now, being able to take care of them, because we paid a price and we worked at it. That's the power of your motivation to change your stars. We decided that what had been happening to our family for generations, and my family, my father, my uncle, my aunt, and my grandmother almost starved during the Depression. They'd been abandoned by my grandfather, and the family hadn't stepped in just to give them food. They'd have been in dire straits. From that legacy, my father came, and that was the environment and mentality I was raised in, and I had to change that to change my stars. And I got great mentoring and started reading good books, listening to the right kind of people, and Cindy and I busted it to do that. And she did the same thing. But I'm going to say it to you again. Heroes make their own destiny, and so do you. Gosh, be the hero of your own life, right? And so that's my challenge.